The main event, a bantamweight bout here. Ramon Tavares, who we saw earlier in this season of the Dana White Contender Series, he is back in the main event slot, coming in at plus 175 against Cortavious. Romious sitting at minus 215. He is 7-1 in his professional career. Both men 29 years of age. You see the height advantage there for Ramon Tavares. And I said he was on the Dana White Contender Series earlier this season. He got knocked out in the first round, but it was an early stoppage, so they give him another chance here. It was super early. I thought it was one of the worst stoppages of the season and one of the worst stoppages I've seen this year. So very well-deserved to get another chance here. Coming in as an underdog. He was an underdog in the first fight, underdog in this one. But should be a fun fight. I mean, both guys like to throw hands. Cortavious himself will mix in the wrestling more so than Tavares. Tavares more of a boxer. And from what I saw from Cortavious, the dude has bounced around as far as, the weight goes. He's a pretty jacked dude for 135. You saw the height. He's not a very tall guy, but he is dang ripped. And coming into this one against Tavares, it's going to be shorter. He's going to have a reach disadvantage, most likely. I mean, the reaches are always tough to find on these guys when they're not official, but I would assume he's going to have a reach disadvantage. So for this one, I would expect him to probably try to take it to the ground early and use that strength. Tavares has struggled somewhat with that in the past as far as getting taken down. His only loss before the Contender Series was against Edward Massey. Got knocked out in the first round. But if you watch him fight, got slick boxing, southpaw. We've broken him down before, so we're familiar with him. In the fight he had on the Contender Series, it was looking like it was kind of back and forth. He was going up against a pretty tall guy for the weight class, but in this one, he's going to be bigger. So I'm interested to see how he looks against Cortavious in this one. Who do you liking to get it done?
Yeah, it's kind of tough because Cortavious Romious is so strong at this weight division. And, if he gets you on the ground, his submission game is really good. I mean, he submitted Nate Williams in the LFA in his last fight via armbar, and it was pretty slick the way he did it. And Nate Williams is a grappler. Does have some submission losses on his records, but he's also got a handful of submission wins as well. I mean, he's pretty high level in that regards. On the feet, like you can tell he's obviously going to hold some power. The way he's built, the dude's jacked. He swings hard, but he's not really knocking dudes out besides his first 3 fights at the professional level, which were against guys with, records of 1-6, 1-6, 3-0, like, lower level guys. So if it stays on the feet, obviously Tavares is going to have a chance. You watch his tape and the guy can crack. He's a southpaw. He's fast. He throws good combinations. The left hand's deadly, and he's a really good counter striker. I just don't see Romious really paying any, giving any room for striking in this fight. I think he goes right for the takedowns and tries to work there because you have seen Tavares be taken down in past fights. But, if it can't, and then off chance he catches him early, I mean, Tavares is live, especially I think in the first round for a KO. And, maybe there's a world Romious gasses out too. He is built. A lot of those guys that have a ton of muscle like that, sometimes their gas tank goes halfway through fights. So you just never know what's going to happen. It's hard to predict at this price. Like I'm not confident Romious goes out there and gets it done. It might be a shot on the dog or pass here. For the pick though, I'm gonna still stick with Romious gets the submission first or second round. But betting wise, the dog is interesting because he does hold some characteristics that you like to see in a fighter, especially when you're fighting on a show. You want to get a big finish because he'll come out and throw down on the feet for sure, and he's always live for the knockout. But I think Cortavious has got the tools. He's got the grappling game to just be one step ahead of Tavares in this fight.
This is one you're probably going to want to wait to see the weigh-ins too, because Cortavious hasn't made 135 since 2020, and that was his only loss. He lost to Jornel Lugo by split decision. Lugo is a pretty solid opponent. I mean, he's been in the Bellator promotion. He's got a couple wins in Bellator, 5 actually to be exact, 2 losses in Bellator. But you look at the fights after that. I mean, he weighed in at 138. He weighed in at 146, and his last fight was at 150. He weighed in at 149. So if you look at his Instagram, it looks like he's slimmed down compared to what he was, fighting at 130, 138, 140, 145. So I would expect him to make weight. It looks like he's in great shape. Tavares, I like his stand-up game. It's really solid. I mean, he's got good boxing. I just don't know if he's going to be able to use that in this one. Because like you said, I just don't think Cortavious is going to come out here and want to, go through a boxing match against a guy who was mainly a boxer. So I think Romious probably goes for the takedown early, probably gets it. Dude's strong, explosive. And that's usually a bad combination if you're trying to stuff a takedown. A guy that's just able to pick you up, blast a double, get in deep, and get you down, and then has the strength to keep you down. It's usually not a great combination for the opponent. So I'm going to go with Romious. It's not really the Dana White Contender Series style that we like to see. So that makes me hesitant. Maybe Romious tries to go out there and land some big knockout, try to get a contract. But if he's smart, he would look at, the recent weeks and be like,
Yeah,
all you got to do is win, basically. He'll sign you.
right.
So I'll take him for the pick at minus, 240. I'm not too crazy about it because, the dogs have been coming through Dana White Contender Series. And if for whatever reason he doesn't decide to shoot a takedown, Tavares definitely got the better boxing, in my opinion. Cortavious might be a little more wild, might be tough for Tavares to pick his shots and find that good shot. But yeah, I mean, I think just the dominance that Romious is going to be able to expose with the wrestling and the grappling game should be able to get it done. And, he's able to finish guys on the ground too. I mean, he's got 4 submissions, 5 of his wins come in the first round. He's able to pick up a decision win in the past. So I think he probably gets this one done. But yeah, I'll take him for the pick.